The top of this tree was completely torn off. Old says then the storm moved this way, ripping down her fence and eventually blowing out her windows. Developers say they plan to break ground on this land behind me. And they say it's a maple tree and it split and just wreaked havoc on this neighborhood. And when it fell, it ended up on this house over here that's now been tarped. Just to give you guys some perspective, these are the remnants of that tree. They're half my size. Right now, they're only seeing about 3,000 to 5,000 bushels, making this year's peach crop a poor contender. Much lower than they were when we got here a few hours ago. Check out what's going on here on West Ellis Road. If you park outside and look at your car right now, you're probably going to notice some yellow stuff like this. And what the thieves left with is a couple of $100s from the cash registers, but the damage they left behind is much more expensive. Jose, police are on the hunt for 40-year-old Andre Longmore. A typical Memorial Day weekend for Aletha Olds and her family.
It was around 7 o'clock. The kids were getting ready to go to the beach.
They're sitting in the living room, packing. Then all of a sudden, this door blew open.
My grandson grabbed the door to shut it and lock it, and he couldn't. The wind just picked him up and threw him back against it. And so I started to help him, and he screamed, "It's a tornado, run, run."
But Old says she couldn't do it. She was frozen, terrorized with fear. So in the middle of the storm, her 20-year-old grandson, Austin, took the reins.
He grabbed me and dragged me to the bathroom, but glass was shattering everywhere. The double windows over there blew out.
Ducking glass and praying they would make it. Olds, Austin, her granddaughter, and a guest got down and crawled to the one room that has no windows.
I think that was the best place for us to get, I really do, because there in Austin's bedroom, it picked up his furniture and threw it across the room.
They waited for the storm to pass. As if it couldn't get any scarier, they went outside and their jaw dropped again. The roof was completely torn off of this barn. Old says it's worth $60,000 and has been in this family for generations. Look at some of the debris that's just on the floor here, and they don't have insurance.
The barn's just totally gone.
Despite the devastating damage, not only her family, but all of the animals in the barn and her home are okay. And Old says she wouldn't have known what to do without her grandkids.
It's just not something you're prepared for, I guess. We were very lucky. I was just thankful they were here with me.
When you can't go over, under, or around it, you try to chop through it.
They cut the tree off of the power line that was laying down. It was under a huge amount of tension, and it immediately just sprang up out from under all the debris, and that's when it snapped the top half of the pole off.
However, the power lines and poles are no match for the fallen trees in DeKalb County. More than 200 customers on McCurdy Road and Stone Mountain were stuck in the dark for more than a day.
They've had to put up the whole new pole, and then they also have reconnect all the wires.
Crews wrapped by 6 in the evening, but 30 minutes away in Latonia, the scene is similar. Neighbors tell me a tree fell here around the same time Friday morning, blocking the only way in or out of the neighborhood.
It's a lot of older people in here, older retired people. Quite a few of them is sick. So we got people here on oxygen that need oxygen. They can't come in.
So as trees block the one-way street, there's no power, no path out, and no way Hubert Lee is showing any more patience.
Our ambulance can't get in here. What if a fire break out?
So he lit a fire under every official he could. He says he kept calling until crews showed up shortly after 7 Saturday night, which he says is a day and a half too long, especially when traveling on foot.
Walk and get your food, or they can't come in because of the tree here. They got to come up here and wait on the Uber. It's not right.
It took a dozen workers just to get the lights back on here. The tree, on the other hand, put up a fight that has crews working under the light of the stars. When you lose everything you've built in a flash, it's hard to start over.
We had no windows, and part of the door's missing, and it just tore up so much.
We first met Aletha Olds 6 months ago after a tornado destroyed her Graham, Alabama home and barn. She was nearly caught in the storm herself, but was saved by her grandson. Since then, with no insurance and no money for repairs, things have been at a standstill.
We really didn't have the means to do anything to that house. It was just me and the grandkids, and yes, we didn't have insurance, so we was just stuck with it like it was, you know. It's been a pretty rough 6 months.
She felt shattered until someone special stepped in.
I don't want to cry.
Habitat for Humanity Georgia and Alabama CEO Sandy Pike couldn't let this story go.
When I go to bed at night, all I can know is that she's in a cold place. It was critical that we get her out of there as fast as possible.
The team got to work. Crews made something happen in 45 days.
We received funding in so that I could build 3 new homes in Randolph County in this area. And so immediately within 7 days of receiving those funds, we started construction here. We worked day and night. I was here till 10:30 last night.
Oh, Sandy is so pretty.
Instead of rebuilding, Olds got a surprise, a brand new home 2 miles down the road, fully equipped, fully furnished.
Love it.
And full of gratitude. Olds has a fresh start just in time for Thanksgiving.
And we had friends and family that came in and helped us with landscaping and stuff. Everybody has really, really pitched in and done their part. She's done everything. She's absolutely put everything in there we could need. She told us that our clothes would be all we needed to bring, and she was right. I love it.
In Atlanta, Tresia Bowles, 11 Alive News.